Welcome to Coupling with the Carlins. Your host for the show is Marion Carlin and
Tia, also known as T-Tay by my bae. Thank you for joining us today.
we're going to have an amazing show.
We're going to talk about love, and mastering the art of coupling in your relationship. You are listening to Coupling with the Carlins.
What's happening, everybody? What's happening? It's Friday. It's Friday.
Friday.
Can you believe that we're back, Miss Tia? Can you believe that we're back?
I can believe it. We're here every Friday from 4 to 5 p.m. on KBOB.
That's right. KBOB,
Right.
yes. 89.9 FM. You're listening to Coupling with the Carlins.
And
Coupling with the Carlins. We're the Carlins.
We're the Carlins. Who are we, babe?
Well, we've been in the game for a minute. We're Marion and Tia Carlin, everybody. We've been in the game. We're relationship empowerment life coaches. We've been in the game for about 13 years. And we are very passionate about rekindling, restoring, and retaining more love in your marriage and relationship.
Yes.
We appreciate each and every one of you all listening to Coupling with the Carlins. We're here every single Friday. KBOB 89.9 Black on Black Community Radio, live streaming 24/7. KBOB899.com. So, Miss Tia, tell me today, how are you doing, gorgeous, in your pink Lululemon tights, girl?
Well, shout out to Lululemon. Go ahead and send me a box.
Absolutely.
I'm doing great. How are you today, babe?
I'm doing pretty good. Tell me how your week has been. We've had a pretty good week, I think. We've had a pretty good week.
I've had a good week.
Yes. Tell me how your week has been. Good. What's going on in your world, in your week?
Well,
Yeah.
lots of different things. Just
Yeah.
we've got the summer coming.
Yes.
We're trying to do some things around the house, some spring cleaning.
Right.
You know, socializing, getting ready for the summer, trying to get in shape, trying to get some of this arm stuff I have going on collected.
Yes,
so I can
you're good.
wear my summer outfits. But how are you doing?
I'm doing good, babe. I have to admit, I'm doing really good. It's been a eventful week. A lot of things going on. I was thinking about just being grateful for family. You know, we have amazing blended kids. Shout out to them. Little Chloe.
Blended
little
family.
K, blended family. We've got an amazing blended family. And shout out to Big K and K Gray and B Money and E Money. And we've got shout out to Sissy,
And K Money.
And K Money. Absolutely. And I mentioned, and it's just been shout out to the, Simmons bros. I just love them too. All the people that are in our blended family. And speaking of, today we've got a jam-packed show for you today.
Friends are family that you've chosen for yourself.
Isn't that the truth?
Yes.
Isn't that the truth? You guys, you know what? Because relationship is your greatest currency. Hey, gorgeous, it's good to see you. It's all good. We're excited about what we have. Yeah, all the time. We're very excited about what we have for the listeners today.
We are.
Relationships are your greatest currency. You know this, T. And, you are who you hang around, and, you're only as strong as the relationships that are supporting.
Birds of a feather
flock together. So you're only as strong as your relationship and the people that are truly around you. Wouldn't you agree with that?
Yes. And the attitude of the people around you.
The attitude of the people around you. I said a long time ago, I said that, you're in your relationship, because it takes more than just you all being committed to the relationship to make something work. And it's important that you have, not only just kinship, but your brothers and sisters in Christ and brothers and sisters who really, really love you, right? Really wanting to support your marriage and relationship. And today we have, it doesn't get any better than this on the show. Can you believe it? We have Sir Jay Palmer on the show. And we have Kel L on the show.
Yes.
You guys, mic up, mic in. I think everybody can hear you. Shout out. Give a shout out to everybody.
Let's hear.
What's up, everybody? What's good?
What's good?
All right. There's Jay.
Next to the cool guy.
Mr. Radio.
There they are.
I needed a hat on.
Oh.
She didn't get the hat memo.
She didn't get the hat memo.
If you see what's under this.
Is that what it is? We have a lot going on today, guys. So everybody wave at the camera real quick.
Yes.
Everybody wave.
Yes.
Keep waving. T wave. I'm waving.
Yes.
Everybody, thank you guys for listening. You guys are dialed
here
in?
we have our panel, right?
Absolutely.
We're going to talk about some really great stuff today.
Oh, yeah.
Mostly about being.
Yeah.
I'm single. I want to mingle.
Uh-oh.
Hey.
And what is that like? You know,
Remember
because...
that song?
Yeah.
No.
You don't?
No.
But for the most part...
Remember that song, Jay?
What's that?
I'm single, yes, or I'm single,
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, I
thank
do.
you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay,
Single
so,
time.
yeah.
So for the most part, see, and we talk about this all the time. We talk about that we have been single before. We have been married.
The dishes? Is that what we?
No.
I thought you
We're
meant
just
the
talking about,
dishes.
and we mention this all the time. we talk about being single,
Yes.
being married,
Yes.
being single.
Yes.
No, being single, being married, being divorced, then being single,
then
and then married again. And there's nothing like getting input from not only just Jay Palmer and Kel L, but these are two totally significant people in our lives.
Yes.
They support our marriage and relationship. They love our blended family. They love our kids. They love our family.
Yes.
Mothers.
Can't shake us.
Yeah, they can't shake us. No. Jay has been around, and I know that Kels was with you.
Take it all the way. We're gonna take it all the way through.
All the way through.
Yeah.
My brother helped me when his father passed away some years back, and when my father passed away, we were there for each other. I know Kel was right beside you in the same interim. So we just appreciate both of you all being on the show and contributing what it's like, literally today's topic, what it's like to be single and what it's like to be single in Tulsa, trying to figure that out with being single, being married, being divorced.
There?
Right.
Not
what's
a lot.
going on?
Not a lot.
Not a lot. Not a lot.
It ain't too much happening.
Yeah.
It's not a lot happening.
Yeah. Expound on that, Jay. It's not too much happening out there, brother.
It's not happening. It's just a different day for dating.
It is. I would think the options would be more vast with your opportunity
There's
to date
options,
online.
but are there quality options is the problem.
Okay. All right.
There's lots of choices.
There's lots of choices.
Lots of choices.
Not very good choices.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you find that that's the case locally, or even when you expand to a more national level? Like,
yeah.
In my case, I've tried. I just don't like long distance relationships because I'm
That's
a
good. You already
very
hit one of my questions.
because I'm a very intimate person.
Yes.
And so and also I just feel like you can't really know somebody. Like people can be whoever they want you to be. You know what I mean? On the phone.
Yes.
And just even when you FaceTime or video chat or whatever, they can still just put on a persona, but you don't really get the actual person until you kind of hang out with them, even if they're just in their own environment or just, just person to person, like over a period of time.
Who their friends are, what their routines are.
So for me, and I've tried them, I just can't do a long distance.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see how that could
Do you find that even in like it being long distance, where you have this, I guess, semi-subculture relationship, and what happens when it's like you're kind of interested? Do you just like, it's long distance, I'm not even going to entertain it?
No.
Is there any interim of just like, well, this could be a possibility?
I've entertained it, but then like you get into it and it's like, I want to see somebody all the time. I want to hang out with somebody all the time. I want to see somebody.
Integrate someone into your life.
Yeah. And I just want to see somebody, not necessarily when I want to see them, but like I want to be like, hey, are you busy? Let's go do whatever.
Right.
I want that. I don't want, okay, we got to link up. I'm going to come to wherever you were. We're going to meet in a month. You know what I mean? Like I just, I don't like it. I've tried it. I don't like it.
Do you think some people, so from your experience and knowing other single people, do you know single people that actually find comfort in that just because they don't have to have as much involvement?
Some people probably like it because of that.
Yes.
I mean, and I'm kind of that way too. I want to hang out with somebody, but I don't really necessarily know that I want to integrate somebody in my life.
Into your full.
I don't know about all that. But I mean, I would like for it to be an option.
Yes.
But some people like the fact that they don't have to. And that's part of the attraction to them.
Yes. And I can see, especially if you're parenting or maybe you're really, really busy, and that kind of gives you a little bit of connection to have the relationship, that might be something that someone would like to do for sure.
That's the cool part, because I see it as like a little escape, because I like to go on trips. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll meet you. And then I'm like,
yeah.
Do you find that, and anyone take the mic on this, do you find that potentially that, having a long distance relationship, and even though that it's not real and it serves some kind of
Well, it's
purpose.
real. We're not going to say it's not real.
Okay, is it really?
It's real.
I mean,
It can
it's
be.
real. It
It
can be
works for
real.
some
Why would you say it wouldn't be real?
well, it's
Because
just
long
like if it's
distance.
long distance, okay, all right, and I'm not trying to light a fire under my butt, but it's like if you want to see that person
Mhm.
and really get to know them, it gets really serious in relationship when you can date somebody, right?
Mhm.
And you can be with them, but when you actually are around them enough to start being around them all the time, living with them, the stakes go up greatly. So I just find that, I'm not saying that it's not
I think
real,
it would. I think
but it's
ideally you would want it to be temporary.
Yeah,
to a certain,
I
or
guess
at
that's what
least
I'm
have a
trying to say.
long-term
And then,
goal.
as things progress, like in the beginning, it's just that getting to know someone phase,
Mhm.
right?
right.
Then as things progress, then maybe you think about, well, maybe we should. I can move there. You
Okay.
can move here. But in the beginning, it's
Yeah.
not that. It's not like I gotta see you every single day
Right.
Yeah.
to get to know you, right?
It progresses kind of
So,
slow.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So at some point, you might want to make a move.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I would never shut it out and say I wouldn't do it.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm
So
open to
So
the
that's a
idea.
good question.
We-
Making a move.
So I won't ask personally, but I'll ask if you guys know anyone who's had this experience.
Mm.
Yeah. I
So
do.
they've met someone online.
Mhm.
It seems like there's a lot of chemistry. It seems great.
It's
They
all-
meet up,
Good thing.
and it's like the minute you meet them, you're like, whoa,
Yeah.
this is not who I thought he was, or this is not who I thought she was,
Right.
or this situation is different, or
Mhm.
maybe it could be anything. It could be anything.
Mhm.
That
So-
happened.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I met a guy. He lives in Memphis,
Mm-hmm.
and he was like super cool.
Yes.
We had a great conversation.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yes.
We had great conversations. We were video chatting. It was cool. And then me,
Yeah.
because I'm a visual person, I asked for a picture,
Okay.
like a full body picture. Shut
This is getting
up.
good. This is getting good.
Front, back,
Right.
Not
side,
all
side.
that, but
Yeah.
just like a full body picture.
Recent.
Because again,
Yeah.
people- there's
Recent
that.
picture, yeah.
That's the problem.
Not 5 years ago.
But that's
Okay.
the issue.
Okay.
So, it sent me this picture, and I'm like, okay, I can deal with that. I mean, I'm not a small chick, so I'm like, okay, who am I going to tell somebody about their, all that? So I'm like, okay, fine. So meet him, and the picture he sent was obviously a while ago.
He was at his personal best in the picture.
There had been a
What's that
couple-
called?
Uh,
I don't. There's a term for that when you have a picture that's even
catfish?
Yes,
or
Instead
fake
of a
sweat.
slightly
over that.
catfish.
That was
Yeah.
how I
Lots
felt.
of Snapchat
And I was,
filters.
yeah, I was
You're
mad.
a bunny all the time.
Right,
That's
because
funny.
I'm like, and then I felt bad, like my shallow self, because I'm like, okay, you were really feeling him, and then now you see him, and you're like, but
No,
That's
that's
fine.
called just being a person.
right.
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah.
and then I made a personal decision within myself to, if you don't like somebody, don't like them,
Mhm.
Yes.
because I tend to be like, I mean, he's okay,
Yeah,
and then
trying
I
to make
look
it
up and I'm
work.
in a for real committed relationship with someone that I don't even want to be with.
Yes.
So I'm like, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
So that's what happened.
Yes. Exactly.
How does that,
exactly.
like, when that occurs, what's the stop? Like, what happens when you're just like, no, I'm not going to do this anymore?
Do you have the
Or-
conversation?
Right. Like, how do you have that kind of
Well,
conversation?
today people just call it ghosting.
Go. Do
Yeah,
they?
you
Do
just
most
stop
people
responding.
just ghost? And is that
It's not-
acceptable?
And what's politically correct? If,
know.
like, is that on ghosting on Messenger J time? Is it on text, or is it just a phone call? Or what's the political attire
you
to that? If you're
unfriend
calling someone
them?
and leaving a message and they're not calling
Do you
you back,
block the number?
right? How many times do you is this over, or what's too much? If you're being ghosted, do you not? Is it one voicemail, two voicemails?
No
give
one
me
leaves
the-
voicemails,
Okay.
Mary.
Okay. All right.
I know
Okay.
somebody. who-
Yeah.
I'm a voicemail king,
Old
but
school.
okay.
He'll send
Old
you a
school.
fax.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
but
kind of like
Yeah.
it just kind of dwindles. Like it's like, yeah,
fizzles
he's
out
calling. I'm not answering.
And so how many times?
I
is
mean,
that
until they get
to
the message.
all right, so here's my question.
Hmm.
If you don't know, or you're in the vicinity, or you're in the matrix of being ghosted, and you don't.
The
you
ghost
still,
matrix.
Right, the ghost matrix. Right, and then
It's a
you
fun
don't
house.
really know. Am I being ghosted?
Yeah.
And so you leave a
know
message.
when you're being ghosted.
What I'm saying is, okay, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Okay, school me. Okay, educate me. Then is it just one text and they don't respond? You send another text, they don't respond. You send a voice.
It's
like,
just different.
What's too much?
It's
That's just like
different.
now it's rude. You're being ghosted. But
Well,
then
it's
there's
just different because it's like, okay, we were talking a lot and now we're not. It just kind of,
it's a slow progression.
it's a slight dwindle.
Mhm.
And then you kind of just like, okay, I guess we're not talking, and you move on. And me, I'm someone that like, I don't really call, or
Okay.
I try not to like be the first person to text. Sometimes I will,
Okay.
but for the most part, I'm not. So
Do you feel like that's your role as the woman in the relationship to be
it's
pursued?
kind of my safety net, kind
Okay,
of, because I don't
okay.
want to feel like I'm chasing anybody.
Yeah.
okay.
So-
So
I just don't. So then, like, if I do send a text, then feel honored because I don't do that.
okay. So what happens if the person or the female or the guy or the girl that you ghosted? What happens when
You run
they're
into them.
Yeah, you run into them, or you take a little interest. So it's kind of like you ghosted, but then it's like, I don't even know why I ghosted. Were you ghosting because you?
No,
why
you
you
remember
ghosted.
Yeah,
why
you
you
know why you
ghosted.
Have you ghosted someone?
I'm sure
Well-
he's ghosted. I mean,
I have.
Okay,
But
okay,
I try to do like
this is good.
have some class about it and talk
Okay.
about
some
maybe
integrity.
integrity and talk about
Okay.
maybe why this is not going to work between us.
Is that a conversation, JT?
Conversation, yeah.
Okay,
So
Is it-
let's
it would-
put it
do
on the
women
flip
res- it
It
side.
wouldn't be a
Okay.
text.
okay.
You would actually have.
So you
talk
want to
about
ghost
it.
someone.
Okay.
Let's say you want to ghost someone.
Mhm.
Because let's be honest. I mean, we're not all perfect.
Mhm.
Everybody, like, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
Do you have the conversation that you don't think it's working, or do you just kind of fall off? I mean,
I think you should
not-
have the conversation.
you should have the conversation. That doesn't mean it always happens.
Right.
Well, and I
should try
had the
that- try that first.
conversation,
Okay.
and then the conversation didn't go well. So
Right.
then I'm like, okay, well,
Yes.
you're not listening, so I'm done.
Because
So
I
So it's
have,
conversation
That's a
then
lot.
ghost.
Yes,
Conversation,
The
then
conversation
ghost.
doesn't work, then you ghost.
Okay.
Is that what
Yes.
you're saying?
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So if the
and some
conversation-
people are very persistent.
Has that been?
You
Has
can
that
No,
try
been
no,
to
your
no,
ghost.
experience?
that's
You can try to ghost, I think, and maybe it's harder to do.
Yeah, because some
With
people
some
are like, wait, what happened?
persistent,
Yeah, like with the guy in Memphis, he was like, it's just different. And I was like, yeah, I just don't want to be in a long distance, and I really don't. But like, you can't tell somebody, hey,
Yeah.
you're a lot bigger than what I thought you were. I mean, that's
Yeah.
just rude. Like,
But you can say that I just don't think that that we don't have chemistry, right? Or there's not real attraction.
no, because I was attracted before, so why would I not be attracted now?
Okay.
Like, that was too much of a
Okay.
conversation.
the question
Daytime.
that I don't like though.
Okay.
Is
Daytime.
when
Tell us.
you talk to somebody about
Mhm.
they want to know why. They want to like what
And
is
they
it
want
about-
an exit interview.
Yes. Yes. What is it about me that you don't like? What is
Okay. Right.
And it's awkward.
That's a female
That's
thing. I
my
haven't had
favorite
that.
question.
Is that a mature thing or an
That's a- I think
immature
I think
thing?
guys
female
just like
thing.
whatever. Okay, that's cool. But
Uh-huh.
females,
Yeah.
they want to know what is it like.
Oh no,
Do
men
you
are
ever
that way.
feel like-
I've not had that.
No,
You know,
men
now, but
always
that
want to
de-
know
but
what,
that-
like,
that
what's
depends
the
on-
problem.
I've not had
That
that.
that depends on like.
Okay.
And that happens for both female and male.
Mhm.
If you really like, it just happens. Women choose men. Men don't choose women.
But why do you want to know why? If
I don't
someone
want to
tells
know
me-
why.
if someone tells me I have no interest in you,
I'm good.
I don't need to know why.
Mm-mm.
I
You
just
only
know-
got
I
to tell
respect
me
that.
one time.
Oh, I always want to know why.
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
See?
yeah,
Yeah.
So why?
And
Why? Tia?
why?
Because it's on my own personal self-improvement, and then it's
Okay.
also a perspective. So I really think there's a lot to be said for hearing the same things repeated to you,
Mhm.
Yeah.
especially when you're in a relationship, because when you're in a relationship, you're a completely different person than
Mm.
if you're in a friendship or any other kind of dynamic.
Mm.
So there are plenty of people that have great, successful, well-built lives, but they suck at relationship.
Yeah.
And then they continue
keeps
to
us
make
busy.
the same mistakes
Keeps us
or
busy.
the same patterns of behavior over and over, recreating that dynamic. So I think as hard as it is to say, like, is there something, not necessarily why don't you like me, for instance,
Mhm.
but what do you think it was? Like, where do you think that maybe this went
See,
sour.
I don't like
but
that.
I'm a brutally honest person.
No,
so I'm
we-
just
we-
like
that opens
we
to,
are-
to
no.
me. That opens.
We are brutally honest.
That opens me
But
up
that
to like a whole bunch of criticism that I may not
Exactly.
want.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, okay, we're good, and I just can move on.
Mhm.
I'm the
So do you know what you've taken away from the relationship
Yeah,
without
that's good.
asking?
That's
Usually-
a great question.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you feel like every relationship has a takeaway?
I think so.
Okay.
I feel
Mhm.
like I just feel like I think every like just experience has a takeaway. Like I feel like anytime you go through anything, you should have learned something from
That's good.
that.
Yeah.
Do you feel like there's a way in which you can deliver like this is where we didn't mesh, but it's not any offense to you. It's just it didn't work for us.
Yeah, I think that for the most part, a lot of times people know that it's not working, but they just decided that Jonathan's a great guy and I want to be with Jonathan. So even if I don't even feel like we really had that chemistry,
Mhm.
Yes.
I just decided I wanted to be with Jonathan. So now I'm
Okay.
mad because I can't be with Jonathan. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Oh,
I think
That's
a lot
good
of
for me. I'm
times.
way too curious.
Yeah.
I'd have to know why, when,
But I think
what,
a lot of times, don't you
where.
think that like sometimes you know when it's like something's just not right?
No.
Yeah.
It could
And
be the
you're
first-
like-
it could be the first date. You're like, this ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there
Energy.
but what happens when, because as long as we've been doing this body
Mhm.
of work, we found that couples at first had a horrible first date, a horrible second and third date, but they ended up being together. That happens sometimes.
Mhm.
Well, sometimes you just have that attraction to somebody,
right.
and then you
I
still
think
kind of
the
want
attraction
more.
has
what
to
was
be
the reason
there.
though that they continued to push through to the
Because-
fourth and
okay,
fifth day after
Okay.
the third?
Great question, J-Time.
Yeah.
I think that normally like does attract like.
Okay.
And for my experience in coaching couples, because we both coach single and we've coached couples who have been in marriage and relationship, I think that there's like an attraction and a challenge
Mhm.
sometimes when you're mirrored, right?
Mhm.
Because like attracts like, there's something about like, oh my God, I'm being like, I'm being challenged somewhat. I'm being called out on the carpet. I'm being, my crap's being aired out. This
Mhm.
person is not. They see my rackets.
Mhm.
There's kind of an
Mhm.
attraction to that a little bit. Like I'm not in the same swag mode that I'm normally.
Or
in.
you
Like,
just feel like you've met your match.
Right,
Like you've met
right.
someone who's like, wow, someone's really trying to improve me as a person.
as a
like
person
they're really calling out the crap that I know
No.
is an issue
that
for
I've
me.
mastered, right?
That I've
in my racket.
mastered,
In my
yeah.
racket, yeah.
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 I think I like that
You like that.
Mhm.
So that's good.
because I'm a lot,
Mhm.
Right.
and I know
We
that
all-
I'm a lot.
Okay.
And I'm have like a extremely strong personality.
Mhm.
So for somebody to be like,
You're gonna
you
call
know, you need to stop, right?
Right.
Like silently to me,
Right.
with that no one even knows that happened. I
Yes.
love that.
So
yes.
Kelly, when you say I'm a lot,
Yeah.
I've heard that phrase before. I'm a lot.
Okay.
What does that mean when you say I'm a lot?
Because I do have like I have a strong personality. I'm just used to handling things.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Independent.
Not
and-
just independent. I think just I mean definitely independent, but also
Yeah.
just really even before you had independence,
right.
I would say.
Yeah,
that you're
I've
just
always just
strong
had
in
a
your
strong
belief
personality.
system.
And I'm a brat at the same time. So
Mhm.
it's a whole lot.
Okay.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
I get that.
It
I mean,
is.
I think that it's important for you, like in dating period, and always, even in just marriage, we always are doing or being and are being, we're doing and are doing, we're self-aware of just like what I need to work on.
Mhm.
And your significant other, your person, your soulmate, your spouse should be always trimming the fat on accepting you and also seeing you. This is just me, my take. I'm not right on anything, but seeing you at your greatest potential and loving you, not where you're at, but where they know you're capable of, in my faith and in Tia's faith in Christ Jesus, and embracing that
Yes.
with a lot of love.
But all
around that.
women know that they have loved a man in their potential
Hmm.
way longer than
Then
they should have.
Mhm.
Because
Every
now,
woman.
Yeah.
now repeat that real quick for the listeners. I want the men to hear that. That's deep. I don't want men to
No,
cats to miss
that's
that.
good. T.
That's good. That's good.
Every
T.
woman has dated a man
or married.
or
Wow.
generally married. That's
Yeah.
usually
Yeah.
the one you marry.
That
But you're-
potential.
Yes, that you're on the vision with him. He's
vision.
giving you the dream.
The vision.
Oh,
That
He's-
you-
yeah,
That you
thought-
bought.
Yes, and you
Oh,
just
boy.
start hook, line, and sinker.
Mm.
Mm.
And these are the things that are going to happen.
Mm.
and then a little time goes by, a little bit more
and then
time,
they just
and
never
you're
get a
like,
job.
I just don't think
Wow.
that any of those
Wow.
things are
Wow.
manifesting
Wow.
into your life. Not in, I know that there's life circumstances, but I would like to see you pursue those things. So this vision seems like it's actually obtainable.
Mhm.
So I think a lot of women, probably by the time they're 25 years old, at least, have bought into maybe the dream of, because as women, we want to do that. We want a man to like grow into something, and we want to feel like we had something to do with it.
That's
Most
right.
of the time, women do have everything to do. A woman can take a man
So
and
then
see
it makes
his
us feel
drive.
bad about ourselves when we're like, he's not improving.
Well, it only depends on his willingness, because it's up to us. We're the head.
Right.
Everything rests and falls on a man and his faith and his family. We're the foundation, we're the covering and the foundation.
Most definitely.
So when that's going on, and a woman can take a man and see greatness in him, and I just feel and I believe that the only thing she has to keep telling him is that he's great. Now there are there are circumstances that you're being supportive in that, right? And you're being committed to that, and you're being self-sacrificial in that, and that's not manifesting. But for the most part, a woman telling a man he's the greatest, she better watch out. She better watch out.
How long do you think that duration is when you're just hoping and believing, when you aren't seeing a lot of movement in that direction? Because we all know that, you know, you have to fail so many times. It's a numbers game, those things. But there is there is a degree at which you have to
It's real
love
tough.
yourself enough to say,
Enough's
that-
enough.
yeah, like this isn't working out the way I feel like, not just what you had planned, but what we had planned together. And that's where I want to move forward. This is the direction I want to move in. And these are the things you're saying. And I'm not saying that I don't think you still have that potential. I just don't think possibly you know how to
Access it.
Yes, access it, get there, move closer toward it. And I think as women get older, especially once they have children, just your life starts to fill up so full, and you've only got just that little cream at the top. That the cream has to rise to the top, and that's where you need your partner to be, because you can't manage your life when you're feeling like you're just, you know, hoping for something to be the case.
I think kids
Miles Monroe.
definitely change it.
Yes.
Because like I can be on this dream with you when it's just me and you. I got you. We're on the dream.
Okay.
Okay, now we got to buy diapers, and we got to pay for daycare, and we got to do a whole bunch of other stuff.
Right.
And I'm gonna need your dream to manifest some sort of currency, because otherwise,
We gotta
That's
be
real talk.
people.
otherwise,
Yeah.
this not gonna work. I mean, it just is what it is. So when it's just me and you, cool. I got, you know what I mean? And
But
like,
this is
even
affecting other
well,
people. That I
yeah.
love.
Well, and like for me, like in my own experience, like in my marriage, that was kind of, and you were there for all of that.
Yes.
But that was kind of the situation with that. It was like, okay, I got us, but then now we have a kid. I can't have all of us, and you're the man. Like I shouldn't have to have all of us.
Right.
So, you know, it just got to a point to where I don't want to do this anymore. Like I'm working too hard,
Yeah.
and I shouldn't have to. But then you still want the respect of being
A man.
my husband and being my man, but you're not doing
Where's the
those things,
sacrifice?
right?
Yeah.
There's this, because to me, with that respect comes some responsibility.
Yes.
Miles Monroe, he once said,
Absolutely.
he once said in a talk, and for those that are listening, YouTube Miles Monroe Men and Vision. YouTube Miles Monroe Men and Vision. And he said he's in heaven now. Man did an amazing work in his time being
Incredible.
here. Yeah. So did Pastor Palmer. That's real talk. Let's keep it real. Shout out. So he once said that a woman isn't interested in just a man's results. He said that a woman will get behind a man not only if he's producing results, that's one dimensional, but if he has a vision, and the vision is his drive, that's something that she can get behind
So
and
you're saying
support.
results and a vision.
He was saying that a man can't get to results.
Tia said it can't be just a vision.
Right.
No,
That's what I'm trying to get to, is that it can't just be a vision.
But he was saying,
Right.
yeah, that a man can't get to the result unless he has a vision. And then he talked about what a man is, and having a vision and being the bound and a base and being the covering, being the bottom, being the the foundation and the covering, and what that looks like.
Mhm.
And if he can get that vision and what he's supposed to be operating in and his purpose and his calling, and he's passionate about it, he can create a result. But the woman can't get behind that result unless she knows that he is dedicated to that vision and he's willing to make sacrifices
And
upon that
moving
vision.
forward.
And he's
she's
moving
seeing
forward,
that
which takes major
forward-moving
sacrifices.
motion. Absolutely.
Mhm.
So I definitely 100% agree that a woman wants a man with a vision. I also believe that that vision generally needs to possibly take place before the woman even enters the picture. Because
Mhm.
I think
Yeah.
a man should already have a vision for how he would like to
Mhm.
build his life. So he's
Definitely.
already working towards that
Mhm.
before the interaction even happens. And that's not just for a man, but that's also for a woman. A woman should be like, if that's her ultimate goal, to be in a relationship with a partner,
Mhm.
she should be working on herself, her life, just all elements, what we call just,
Mhm.
life balance, your whole full circle life balance. And so you should be working on all of those things. So when there is the introduction of that person in your life, you're prepared for it. You're mature enough. You're on track.
Mhm.
You're, and I've seen that have a lot more success than, because two people with a lot of hopes and dreams,
Mhm.
that is very beautiful when you're 18.
Mhm.
Because you have your whole life in front of you. You have all of these decisions that
Right.
you could make.
Right.
You can come together and make those decisions and make those plans, and you can see that moving. I think when you get older, in your 30s and
40s.
yes, 30s, 40s, what, just anything over that age, you've had so many experiences, and in those failures, I mean, I've just seen so many times with women, they just feel like this was the plan. Women are very big on plans. This was the plan. Where is that plan? Where did it go? A woman also has to feel like a man is like sticking to one particular vision, because I've also coached a lot of women where it's like, men are like, I want to do this, and I want to do this, and I want to do this, and I also want to do this.
And
They're like,
And-
just make one thing work.
yeah, like
Mhm.
let's
Exactly.
focus on one thing at a
Right.
time.
Sure.
Yes.
and is that vision again
Mhm.
producing currency?
Okay.
yes,
'Cause
yeah.
Okay.
Or can it potentially?
So being like,
I need some currency to be coming from
Fiat.
somewhere.
monies,
Mhm.
dollars.
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
the
Right,
thing
on the
is
monthly.
I don't think we're trying to say it as like money,
No,
because I don't want you to be misrepresented.
No,
You are-
not at all.
Yes,
but
very
no.
self-contained.
With that being said, my
Mhm.
thing is, and I was
be a
in
contribution on every
yeah,
level.
I was in that relationship, and again, I got us, no problem.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, when do you got us? And so it's that type of
Yeah.
thought process. I don't have I mean, like, and I know you're having a bad time or whatever, I'm
Yeah.
cool with that. We can work through that. But at
Mhm.
what point do you get up, like the guy said that one day that I told you?
Yes.
Like, when do you get off the
Mhm.
couch?
Mhm.
When do you have that moment where you
Right.
need to get off the couch and go do something? Because
Mhm.
the attractiveness to me is
Mhm.
the hustle. Like, are you
Yeah.
doing whatever you
That is
can?
that's where you see the masculinity.
Yeah, that
Mhm.
to me is like, because you're doing whatever you can for our family. And if
Right.
you're not doing that, then the
Mhm.
attractiveness starts to die
Dwindle.
for
I
me.
think what happens a lot for women of our generation, and we are in our young 40s,
Are we in our
or
young
mid
40s?
40s, whatever
I
the
think we've crossed
Mhm.
the hill.
You know,
but go ahead.
I think that there's a lot to be said for just a man feeling like, okay, I've been working towards things, you've been working towards things, we're already adults and been making it this long on our own. So it's like, what are we going to be able to do combined, and how are you going to go and pursue the things that you want to pursue, and I pursue the things that I want to pursue, and that actually bring something to the both of us. Because where the breakdown of respect happens with women is when they just feel like it's like, I've seen so many women, they're like, I want to respect him so badly.
Wow.
Like, I want to
Wow.
respect him. I'm praying to, I'm trying to respect him. I'm trying to inspire and
I'm
encourage.
curious, so what are you wanting to respect?
You're wanting to respect how he operates in his life as far as seeing what his responsibilities are and then meeting those obligations, and making an effort to meet those obligations to the fullest. It's like,
Are you
be
respecting
who
the-
you say you're going to be,
Okay.
and do what you say you're going to do. And that's very important to women. I think a woman can get behind a man when they have a vision and those things are being worked towards. But if they say, I have a vision and I'm going to get up and I'm going to do this and I'm going to go on this many cold calls, or I'm going to go pursue these things, but then that day comes and that day goes, and then another day comes,
And then
and
he's
another
just on
day
the couch
goes.
and his chest is moving up and down.
I've
And then
seen a
it's-
lot of women
It's
and,
not a
and
lot
men,
happening.
respect. I've been in
And that's
this game
when
for a
sometimes
minute.
they want to
right?
physically injure.
I've seen a lot in coaching singles and in coaching couples. I've seen a lot of women respect men. I mean, totally respect men who do what they say, and they say what, but they have no character. I've seen a lot of women stay in relationships because the money is there, but the man has no real character in that. But they stay
Yes, I
because
can't do that
they
either.
need the support, and they stay
and
in that. He could be a great provider. Absolutely, just a dope provider.
Well,
But his
I don't
character,
think I'm omiting that he's like, I'm not
I
saying
mean,
that
like
he
he
has
could
to have
do what
a
he
vision.
says all the time in front of her and be something else totally different. I've seen that.
That's not being who you say you are and doing what
Well,
you say
I don't
you're doing.
know. I don't know that because she's believing that's who he says he is. When
She
he's-
knows that's not who he is. She just doesn't care because he's
Right.
providing. See,
Right. And eventually she's
that,
going
yeah.
to grow. I mean, that.
Or she just doesn't care because there's some.
I've seen a lot of women, Killer, who say that they care, but they really don't care.
They don't
They
care.
say they
Well,
care,
because
but they still stay in it because they care about something, but it's not character.
Well, it's not always. It's
It's not internal character or spiritual character. I mean, I've seen that too.
Well, most of when it's those situations, it's usually just because, again, he's providing for her and she's okay with that. Some people have decided that the monetary is better than the relationship.
And then it depends on how deep that is, because no one's trying to. I mean, if we're talking about a family, you're not just going to look up and say, well, he's providing, but he has his shortcomings. He's short here. And I'm just going to walk out of this and destroy my entire family without a lot of merit. I think a lot of women in that situation, because you don't have that possible financial burden, like breathing down your neck, can give you a lot more longevity because there's hopefulness in that. You're still eating. You're still getting your bills paid. So you can wait that out a little longer. That's something you can wait out a little longer too. But at some point, when you get to the place, and I do believe everyone gets to this point, even if they stay, they get to a point where they're like, wow, I'm not being true to myself. This isn't what I want. So I have to either decide to like find other areas of my life to devote myself to and refocus this, or I need to get out of this relationship. But I do definitely feel like in that regard that, no matter how much we progress as men and women and, in our culture, there is a level of expectation, especially with our age group, because we have seen, I think our example would be, we've seen men providing.
Who? My daddy?
We have.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay.
Growing up as
Gotcha.
a young person.
Gotcha.
We lived in the same neighborhood. I think every man that lived in that neighborhood
Oh, yeah.
was a good provider.
Genesis
I
of
would say
identity.
that, yeah, it was pretty,
Yeah.
we all kind of lived the same kind of standard, middle class life at that time. And people did what they had, to do. And there were both people working. But I think that that's what we grew up seeing, like working towards something, working towards something, working towards something. And that's where I sometimes think women get a little disillusioned with, or a little frustrated in that situation. So I've spoken way too long on that.
No, you haven't. I thought it was
But,
good. I thought it was good.
What's your take on that, Jay?
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
But I do believe that men are supposed to be the providers.
Absolutely.
And at some point, you know, as an entrepreneur, you may have to get a job to bring in some money, especially if there's a child involved.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be all on the woman to bring in the money. And that ain't right.
Not even biblical.
It's not.
No.
It's not. So, and then at some point, are you just being selfish? And then blaming her for not supporting you when you should be helping out with the money.
Handling. Right.
Yes.
Because that's big. It's huge for a woman.
Huge.
For a man to have some money coming in.
Yeah. They need the security.
Because when you say in coaching that's still the number one.
It is.
Well, money,
it's issues with
there's 3 problems.
communication.
Okay. There it is.
What
and
else?
it's always one of the
Money,
3. It's
sex,
the access.
communication.
Yeah.
You find out a man's character when he has the access of having a bunch
So
of
when
money.
you're not having sex and you don't have any money, you better have a conversation.
Yeah.
Had that relationship.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
money,
Done.
Yeah.
and it's always money. It's either having more money, having more sex, and then having more. I think it was the third vice.
Conversation.
Communication.
Communication.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's one of those 3.
Yes.
And testing the character. You know, I just been in this game for as long as I've been in it, and just coaching. I've seen so much. When you do this body work, and Tia's seen it too, you've just seen it on both sides. What's really important for me, I believe that biblically, you know, a man should be handling his business, and if he's trying to handle his business and he's serving the Lord, he's going to do whatever it takes to provide for his family. And whatever that looks like, he's going to get it done and make it happen.
And that's what I mean when I say, like, that's what makes the hustle attractive. Like, I'm all for, if you have this vision for yourself, that's great. But like Jay said, when you see that that's not producing anything, you still got it. I mean, and I'm going to help you with this over here, but what are we going to do in the meantime? And to me, that's
you got
just
this tree, but does it have any fruit?
yeah, and that's just what it is. And that's coming from someone like literally up until like last year, I've worked 2 jobs like my entire life.
Wow.
Like that's just what I did.
Wow.
Because
Well,
I
she
was
never
single
worked
parent.
in high school, but
I mean,
Yeah.
after
I'm
that,
just kidding. I'm just kidding.
hardest.
No, she's the hardest,
Always
hands
did
down
that.
hardest worker.
Yeah.
Work,
And
school,
so-
work, school.
Like for me, that's what's attractive is the hustle because I grind. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
I can't grind, and I'm like
Grinding,
again because like
grinding.
you know that was again one of the issues. Like you
Yeah.
over there and your chest is moving up and down, and I'm aggravated because you're
Right.
still on the couch
Right.
that
That's
you was
not
on
cool.
Oh,
this
That's not
morning
cool.
when I
That's
left.
not cool.
yes.
My father
It's
always
like, is
said,
that
he
the same?
always said,
Oh my
don't
gosh,
you
I
ever
would
let a
do
woman outwork you, boy. Don't you ever let a woman outwork you.
Yeah, and that's what I mean, like with the respect, because
Mhm.
it's hard,
Mhm.
and I tried,
Mhm.
but it's hard because I
Mhm.
mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I say that I'm, you know, this overly strong person, but I mean, that was my husband, you know what I mean, and I wanted to respect him, and I wanted to do all those things.
Give me the
but
position to be in a feminine position.
Yes,
like
that
let
would
me
be great.
give me the freedom to be a woman in the
I
situation.
want that one day.
Yeah.
And being
day it's
like,
gonna happen.
and being where you guys are at, and being single, right? And then dating in your 40s, right? And what that looks like. And then tying in a vision. How does that help us on the, you know, the infrastructure and how that happens? Do you find that if that vision is like, that's an interesting vision, you're self-contained, you both are self-contained, but you want real companionship and real relationship. So there has to be a vision, and how much of that is God in the vision, which I'm sure is a lot for both of you. But then what does that look like, not just only spiritually and emotionally, what does that look like physically? And finding like, I think this may work, or this could be an opportunity, because we're getting wiser, but we're not getting any younger.
Correct.
Right.
We're
Which
gonna let
even more
Jay
so
feel
needs
that
the
one.
result, I would think.
Yeah, I agree with that.
What you think,
That's
Jay?
why I think praying is so important for that significant other, for your
Yeah.
partner.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
To
'cause
bring you what it is that
yeah,
will.
who's going to be that person for me
Mhm.
that can deal with what I'm going through
Right.
and not have to fight characteristics of that, the other person. So
and,
I don't know.
And inspire you.
Well, that too.
Yes.
But again,
absolutely.
that would be the right person that you've prayed to God for.
Mm-hmm.
I think on both sides of the fence, with a man and a woman in a relationship, you have to feel supported for your dreams.
Yeah.
And then
It's important.
there are dreams that are your job, and then there are dreams that are your passion.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you might have to do a job until you can get to a passion.
Mm-hmm.
And then when that passion makes room for itself, you can move further into that passion. I just think that's where
good.
Women feel like it's like, I don't know very many women that are like, I don't want him to better himself. I don't want him to be, to grow and to be more. I think most women do want that.
Mm-hmm.
There's also the flip side of when a woman feels like she's helped a man get there and she's done all the priming, and then she doesn't read the benefit.
See,
That
I don't even
happens too.
care about that, because I'm like, at some point you just have to know, like, this just didn't work, and I'm okay with that, and I really can move on with
Mike
it.
Jones,
But
he
I've
once
seen-
said,
I've
you
grown
see-
into that, though. I haven't
Mike
always
Jones,
been here.
right?
But if you see a man, like if a woman is married to a man for 10 years, he played video games that whole 10 years,
Mhm,
divorced you,
mhm,
remarried,
mhm.
and now he is just flying. You're like, what?
In my adultness, I have come
What
up
is
with the
this?
fact that I was not his person,
Yeah.
and that's where you know what I mean.
Yes,
I
yeah,
was,
their dynamic. was
I was not the person for him because I wasn't able to pull that out of
So
him.
Tia, would you be mad at him or mad at yourself?
Oh, I don't think you're mad at anyone. You're just like curious as to like, what was it?
What was it
You have
about?
to, you have to look at yourself and say, well, was I not inspiring? What were the situation?
Yeah.
And I think that just from the outside looking in, other people are going to say, wow, it's just, she seemed to be really great for him. I think that once you've severed ties in a relationship and you've really moved on, you're going to be happy that someone's
Sure.
doing well.
You
You're
should
like,
be.
he wasn't
You
for
should
me, but
be.
if that's what he is for you,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
good
I
job.
think you
Mike.
should be.
Yeah.
Mike Jones, he once said, and I love this. He said, when I wasn't crap, you didn't know me, but now I'm hot. Now you're all on me.
Yeah.
And for most men love loving a woman when he's been the underdog
Mhm.
and she's been supportive. He's got grit
Yeah.
and he's got fight and he's got sacrifice and he's got ambition. Don't count that old dog
But
out.
That was a
again,
good song,
that's
though.
the grind.
It was a great song.
That's
And
still
then-
grinding.
But that's the grind,
It is, but
and
what
that's
happens, and
what's
there's a lot of
attractive.
times that there's a lot of men out there, and I speak for the fellas out there that are grinding, but there's no results happening, but they are grinding.
If
And-
you're grinding, I'm cool with that. If I
Yeah.
see you're working and you're trying,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
we can work that out.
Mhm.
My problem is when you're on this couch,
Yeah,
you
that's
playing
different.
PlayStation.
That's different. That's different.
There's where the disconnect happens
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
If I see you're getting up every day and
That's
you're
deep.
trying to make it work,
Because
Yeah.
a woman feels differently when her kids' stomachs are growling, or they need
Well,
shoes, or
Kelly
they need
and
a
his couch
jacket.
was a thing.
I know, right? She's keeping it
Why
100.
just not have a couch in the house?
you
don't
gotta
have
have
no
a
couch.
couch. What we gonna watch
Chair,
TV on?
stool,
We're not watching
whatever.
TV?
Yeah.
If there ain't no
out.
couch, there can't be no chilling on the couch.
I mean, we can chill on the couch.
Okay.
You just
Yeah.
don't get to chill on the
Let's.
Yeah.
Well, I
No
always
couch
say
in
like
Kelly's
let's get everything done, and then we can all have some free time.
Don't
you
and
feel
sit down
like
and relax.
for couples, whether you're being married and in love and committed, we want to win. Single, individuals who want to come into some form of coupling and significant other relationship, they want to win. Everybody wants to win. And what does that look like? When you have a vision, the sacrifice has been made, right? And you are winning. I'm looking back on that and saying, look what you've created. Look what you've done in Christ Jesus. Look what God has done with both of you, because in relationship, life is just life. It's not good. It's not bad. Crap happens. The minute you
Yes.
think you're on top and you got a certain standard, just that standard of what it should look like, all of a sudden the same person that you're like, I don't know if this has been enough of a time frame, that's the same person that may be there for you.
I have a perfect example for that. So when I run up against that specifically, especially with men our age, I love if that's the situation and they have a daughter, because I'll say, would you want this for your daughter?
That's good.
Wow.
That's
Would
good.
this guy, would you let you marry your daughter
And they're like,
in your, as you are currently?
and what you're putting out there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Would you
that's
you
good.
be happy with that? If this man if you approached you and asked for my hand, your daughter's hand in marriage, would you be like, yeah, I think you got it together? Okay, let's do that. And you have to remember that every woman is some man's daughter, some man's sister, somebody's aunt, somebody's mother, to a certain degree.
good.
Somebody cares about those people.
good
So
to
they want
That's good.
the same thing that they want the best. People that care about you, they really want the best for you. So it's not even that it's like, oh, you're being shallow or superficial. You're actually being loving by saying that, maybe I'm not ready. Maybe this is something I have to pursue on my own until I can get that interwoven into my life and then come in and show up that way. Because that's why we don't it's why we don't encourage really, really young people to get married. They just haven't established themselves enough. Wait until you get established. So there's a level of
give and take on that. I believe in young marriage too. I think there's a give and take on it. Absolutely. I feel
Is there an ideal age
I don't think so.
for marriage?
But there's just the timing
Well,
of two people.
I think
Precedent
it
of God. In
depends
my own
on-
opinion, God can do anything.
I think it depends
regardless
on what
of the
your
age.
experiences have been. Do you agree?
I don't know.
Do you
How much
feel
does
like-
God
okay, so
tell us?
as
How
your
much does God
children-
play into it? How much does God play into it? You can have your awareness and your physical things of
Yeah.
what you pay attention
No,
to.
it's
And
huge.
but how much is God in it?
It's
well, that's
huge
equally
'cause
yoked.
It's definitely, and it's huge because I did it again. Sorry.
It's good.
I
It's
am
good.
someone who I love going to church. I love
Yeah.
all of that. So, and I've met several people that are like, I don't go to church, and I'm
Mhm.
like, okay, so why?
Mhm.
Right.
And then there's always, I don't feel like I need to go to a place
Mhm,
to
an
worship and
establishment.
all that. And I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, that's great.
Mhm.
And you don't have to go to a specific building to have a relationship, but do you have a relationship? And so that's huge to me.
Right.
Yes.
And so it's very big to me because my kids, you know what I mean? Like I have
Yeah.
kids, so you can't be over here doing what you do. And then and I have a son.
Right.
So anybody that comes into, my life at this point has to understand, like, if you're going to be here, he's looking. Number
Right.
one, at how you treat his mama.
Right. Right.
And number two, because you're going to be in the house with us. So he's looking at you as an example of what to do.
What it's
So
right.
all of
So
those
you're not
things-
going to bring
Oh, no.
right.
Mm-mm.
Oh no.
Not
no.
even, like no one even gets to really meet my kids. So,
Yeah.
that's,
I get that.
like
Mhm.
you see their pictures on Facebook, but that's about
That's
it.
about it.
Yeah.
And
That's the way it
Yeah.
should be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Until it's a really serious situation.
yeah, we're not doing all that.
These
So
moms
how many
letting their boyfriends meet their kids early in the game. I don't understand that. I would even say when I was, even now, if a woman has kids, I don't want to meet the kids initially. I want to see what where this may go before I meet your kids.
Yeah.
You may want to
It's gonna
observe the
take time.
kids.
It's integrity.
Take them to the park. I'll watch from afar.
Well,
I don't even, but
I
like,
gotta see how those kids
my thing
behave.
is just like, again, I
That's
have a daughter. She's
Just-
19 and I have a son. And so, like, first of all, I'm psychotic, which, about my
Mm,
kids.
Yes.
And so, like, I can't just bring anybody with my daughter because she's, me at 19. And so, there's that portion of it. I
Right.
don't want just any man coming and being like, hey, little girl, all
Right.
that. And then again, like I said, I have a 9-year-old boy. And especially in this day and time, like, great leadership and a great example
Mhm.
to me is huge. So I can't just bring
Huge.
anybody.
Mhm.
Right. You got to have somebody that's
Kids
really
get
showing up with some
It is
Extremely.
substance.
Extremely.
So okay, so you're
Extremely.
dating someone. You meet someone online. You're kind of talking to them. You went out a couple weeks ago. You met somebody. You're kind of talking to them. You've gone on a couple of dates with someone
Yeah.
else.
Yeah. Talk about
It's like it's moving, but you're not 100% sure. That's a solid 3 already in the game. how many of those can be managed at once, or do you
Good
think you should
question.
tackle one at a time?
That's called juggling.
Juggling.
Three cups.
Talk about it,
Okay.
Jay.
Okay.
Tell
I
us
was
about it.
teased about that from my brother here.
Yeah.
He's say, Jay, you juggling, Jay, you juggling.
I personally don't have
Yeah.
an issue with juggling.
Yeah.
I feel like, you keep all your options open.
Mm.
You don't have to put
How
too
many is
much.
too many, Jay?
I'm getting this look from Kelly right now.
I'm just asking a question.
Yeah.
How
No,
many
I
is
just
too many?
I think it depends on who it is, like who the individual. For me,
Yeah.
how many is too many?
As many as you can handle. As many as that's messing up your.
So
When you get above 3,
yeah, that's.
that
Then you need to start trimming
becomes
that.
it becomes a
I'm just trying to
part-time
hear
job.
Tia. So Tia's like,
and that's
have as many as you can manage.
That's too
Is that
much.
your
A
take?
part-time job.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
that's
Well,
too
I
much.
You're
do-
saying 3's too many. Tia's like, have as
I
many
think
as you
it
can manage.
depends on where you are as far as what you're looking for, because I do believe in like really hardcore power dating. If you're really looking for a spouse, when you have full direction and you're like, this is what I want, I know how to qualify and disqualify.
Mhm.
I'm going to speed up this process and make it work really quickly.
Mm.
And I do believe that you can just eliminate, like if you're not hanging on. Yeah, I think you can. I think you can just disqualify. You can say,
Maybe
we didn't have
that's-
chemistry.
Maybe that's
This,
what I'm
this.
doing.
Yeah.
I didn't know
So-
that was the name for it. Okay.
Yeah, I
Power
do. I think
dating.
it's power
Like,
dating.
can you
Honestly, that was a theory my mom gave me right when she started allowing me to date. She's like, you're not married. Go on as many dates as you like. Date. Let
At
him
some
get
point,
the
you gotta make a
experience. Figure
decision.
out what you like.
How can
I
you
say
like
3, but
like-
it can't be 3.
right?
Just
But if
ongoing.
that's a theory and that's good, and
You
for
gotta letting some people go.
right,
Like,
Yeah, you
I
don't
mean-
go on
doing that.
15 dates.
right.
but
I mean,
yeah.
how? Yeah, that's good. I mean, that's a lot of like. This is a very interesting topic, and it's also it's good because being single and you're trying to figure that out, and you're wanting relationship with people. You do have to engage, but to what degree is that looking like? Because for some
Definitely.
reason, you can engage with one individual way more in a different
Definitely.
depth with someone else.
Definitely.
And so you're testing that out. And then when does it is there a significance of just being humble enough just to say, I'm just going to take one person at a time? Like, I'm just focused here. I don't know where this is going to lead, but because you're at least spiritually aware, physically aware, emotionally aware of this person, I think you can assess that a little better than just possibly just speed dating and dating a whole bunch of people. I don't think you can be centered in doing that. I don't know. I mean, I'm just,
But you've always been, since I've known you,
yeah,
you've always been that guy.
yeah. I've always been.
You don't
just,
wanna do
Yeah,
that.
I think
No.
that's a
And
preference.
that's fine, though.
Yeah,
that's
right.
who you've always been.
Mhm.
I remember your dad coming to the school
Come
that
on,
one
bro.
time.
Keep it 100.
He was like, "What
Yeah.
are you doing, man? You in
right.
college?
You're in college. Yeah, that's
you ain't
true.
looking for a wife right now.
Right. That's very
Have
true.
fun.
Have fun. Right.
Enjoy the experience."
Yeah. Right.
That wasn't you though.
That wasn't me.
See, I know,
No.
like with me,
That
like I
wasn't me.
would
That was good, Jack.
prefer.
Thank
It's true
you.
though.
Yes,
I would
very true.
prefer one person.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
because we are in our early 40s
Mhm.
or
Right
not.
on. Right on.
Mhm.
That's kind of hard because you get people that, maybe just came out of a relationship or they just don't really, they're not ready for that
Yeah.
or whatever. So it's like,
Yeah.
I like this person and they're cool and I like hanging out with them, but
Mm-hmm.
they're not ready for that other step. And so it's like, okay, do you stop hanging out with them because they're not ready, but they really are a cool person?
Mm-hmm.
Or do you just move on? And to me, it's like they just become like a secondary person. So
Yeah.
like there may be someone else that may be on
That's
that
good.
road. And
Is it
so-
age appropriate? Is it easy? Like maybe that's easier to do when you're younger. The older you get, is it more difficult?
I don't know. I was always in relationships until now.
Mhm.
So
So
I-
what does secondary person look like?
That's a good question.
like you like that person too, but they may
And
not be.
they're not
They may
really
not.
showing themselves.
Well, and that's what I was
yet.
gonna say.
So
They
if
may
you're
not
on
be really
date
giving you
3,
anything.
Okay.
They're just
Does that make
they
sense?
could be
No.
They're still around a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
people
Yeah,
can be
so
very
yeah.
disingenuous for a very long time.
That's true.
Yeah.
People
Yes.
can really pretend to be something.
They give you who they want you to think. And
Or
they
They
do.
send their
or they're-
representative.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So,
So,
can you
would
guys?
you want
Posture.
to have wasted 2 entire years on that?
Oh
when
no,
you're
we're not
maybe-
doing that.
That's too
Yeah.
long.
Okay,
That's a
so
long time.
this has been a very educational.
And I didn't
you know,
even get to trust.
No, but this has been. I'm sorry for
Oh,
that,
we had
sweetheart.
that conversation.
However,
Yeah, that's why I wanted to
however,
have it
with
again.
everything that we've talked about, and
'Cause
we've
it
talked
was
about
good.
a lot of incredible things within this session and this interview.
Can you date
What?
someone's friend? a ex of a friend.
Oh boy.
Someone's
No, that's probably
how many
Yeah.
degrees
No.
of separation?
I say no.
Can you
No.
date an
I
ex's
said no
cousin?
in the car. I said
An
just no.
ex's
It's not a
cousin.
good look.
no.
No.
An ex's long distance cousin.
It's just bad all around, isn't it?
I think it is.
Yeah.
So a
With all the
An
people in the
ex's
world, surely
friend.
there's somebody
Right.
else you can date.
Right.
Right. Besides your.
Surely.
Right.
Surely, right?
So you agree? No.
No.
You
What if
say no.
someone
I
di-
say
what if
no.
someone's
You say no.
deceased?
Tia,
Not
you
worth the
say.
risk for the-
Tia,
What if someone
what do you
dies?
say? T?
Girl.
You say what? What's your
Mhm.
take on that?
I say that it's
She's-
a case by case circumstances, because I do know, and especially with older people,
Mhm.
when watching my parents as they were aging and
Mhm.
seeing their spouses die, I've seen a lot of like some serious senior citizen hookup stuff going down.
Oh my God.
Like, someone has
Seriously.
terminal illness and they say,
Different as
when
you
I'm
age.
Okay.
when I'm gone,
Wow.
I think this would be a great woman
Well,
for
that's-
you. I think that would be a
I
great
think
man for
that's
you.
different.
That is different. I
Or
think.
I've even seen people say, I
At
think
that
you
point,
would be
it's
you would be great with my ex. Like
Hmm.
you guys would get along.
That would be so weird.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
maybe not for those two people.
Right.
Yeah, if
That's true, too.
So
It'd be
Can
weird
you
for me.
believe that we have been on air for another hour? You've been listening to Coupling with the Carlins. We're here every single Friday.
Because this is just what we do. So
Yeah,
Yes,
I
this is just
understand.
normal.
Right.
So,
It is.
yeah,
It
just-
is. This was, however, with all that being said, you're listening to Coupling with the Carlins. We're here every single Friday from 4 to 5 p.m. KBOB 89.9, Black on Black Community Radio, live streaming 24/7, KBOB899.com. I want to give you guys just a couple of things that are very important.
Yes.
We are putting on the North Tulsa Community Music Festival. You won't believe this.
Well,
Saturday.
Eaton Media
Eaton Media Services. We're putting on North Tulsa Community Music Festival. This is going to be incredible, ladies and gentlemen, on June the 5th, 2021, 12 p.m. until. If you need information and you guys are curious about having a vendor, you can go to KBOB.
And that's 12 noon.
Yes, 12 noon to until. You can go to KBOB, KBOB899.com. You can figure out exactly how to get your vendorship and being a vendor here and promoting your business. It's going to be an all-day event. We have Tony Mason, Charlie Red, Faye Moffitt. We have the Wall Street Band. We have Keeping It Real Band. We have Who Do You Think You Are? We've got the Hometown Heat Ramal, of course, Bobby Eaton, and the
Food,
Juice.
things for
Food,
the kids.
hot dogs, all kinds of stuff. You guys have to come out.
Yes.
It's going to be
Real
right
community
across
outreach.
right across the street from Eaton Media Services. You can't miss this event, June the 5th. You got to come. You got to bring your children and participate. We're celebrating our North Tulsa Community Festival.
And you might
It's
just
right
meet
off of-
somebody.
You might even meet somebody. That's true. You guys have been listening to Coupling with the Carlins. In closing, what would you guys say? What would you,
Yes,
Jay
our
Time, what would be
takeaway.
your takeaway for being single? And what would be your takeaway for the listeners who are like guys that have related to what you've said, and women that have related to what you said?
Yes.
What would you say to the sisters and brothers out there that are listening? What would you say about what it takes to actually, be single and really want relationship?
Know what you want.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And trust God for what you need.
Amen.
That's awesome, Jay.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Just right to the point. Simple.
Trust
Perfect.
God
God.
for what you need. Because
Yes.
God knows what you need.
Right.
We know what
Yes.
we want, but God really knows what you
What
need.
you
You
need.
need.
That's a
What
big
you need.
difference.
Amen.
Yeah, and there's
I love
character
that.
building in that what you need.
Sure it is.
Yes.
You may
I
want a
love that.
lot, but then there's that character
Mhm.
building that he's working on you, not what necessarily you may want, but what you may need. That's so
Yeah.
good. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. How about you, Kel-El?
I agree with that. And know what you want and be diligent in that. Like
Mhm.
when you know what you want, you don't necessarily accept anything other than that.
That's right.
Right. That's so good. That's so good.
Love
Keep the
yourself
focus.
enough.
Yes.
Yeah.
You guys can reach us. Love yourself enough. Anything that you might want to add on that, Tite?
No, I think that was great. I just want to tell our listeners and followers
Sure.
and viewers to
Mhm.
just leave comments,
Mhm.
do inbox,
You can inbox us.
inbox us, all of those things. We're going to have some giveaways coming up
That's awesome.
for people that are corresponding with us.
Yes.
And we'll be working with some local
Yes.
businesses to have some
Yes.
prizes and things like that. So
Awesome.
everybody likes a little bit of something, you know.
Absolutely. You guys
So
can reach us at
listen in
Carlin
for
Coupling
that.
Code. Yes, baby. You guys can reach us at carlincouplingcode.com, carlincouplingcode@gmail.com. You can go to Facebook, Carlin Coupling Code, like, post, and share our content in this interview. We appreciate you guys listening with us another hour on this wonderful Friday. Have a great date night week
Mhm.
and we want to just This whole show was created out of just giving you nuggets and real information and real keys
and comment
tools.
with your nuggets.
Right,
Comment with your nuggets.
And
tell us what you think.
And you having a takeaway for you that, you know, have a conversation with your significant other, your spouse, or the boyfriend or girlfriend you want, and having real rekindling, restoring and retaining more love in your marriage and relationship. I've got an oldie but a goodie. I played this before. I've got to play it one more time because, you know, T, I say this all the time. You make me smile like crazy. You do. I love you. And I can't help it. I have, you know what? This is my boy. I just love him so much. Here it is. I have the wonderful Renee and Angela. I just love them so freaking much. Your smile. I mean, golly. I mean,
thank you,
guys. Thanks for listening.
For watching. See you next Friday.
Love you guys.
Cheers,
love you guys.
Bless.
Cheers and God bless everybody. Cheers and God bless everybody. Have a great weekend. Have a great weekend.
In your eyes shine pictures of this time for us. I melt with love when our lips kiss. Silent words move the earth and shake my world. But nothing means as much. Your smile, like that special touch. Your smile, from your smile. Your smile. Oh, if anything I'd miss, your smile, I never could resist. Your smile, your smile.